Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Bat Friends Beyond. I believe the final episode of the Bat
It is
Friends
the final
Beyond.
episode.
The final episode of the Bat Friends Beyond.
Hallelujah!
Episode number 167. I'm one of your hosts, Chris, alongside the world champion here, Joe. What's going on, Joe?
I'm so glad we're done with this fucking bullshit show.
Love this show.
Fucking garbage. So, it's not garbage. It's still better than most things, like anything CW. But it's not. It's one of those things I was thinking about. Cause I'm like, oh, this is the last episode. For years, I never watched this. I watched Batman the Animated Series, watched Batman Brave and Bold. I watched stuff after it. I did not watch this. And people would just tell me, "Oh, you should watch it. It's really good. You should watch it. It's really good." And I just want to say, okay, good. For some reason, the subtitles were going off on Justice League. Now that I've watched it. You were wrong. I was right. I was better off not watching most of this show. Some of it was good. A lot of it was fucking bullshit. And if you watch it as a kid, I get why you enjoy it. Because you don't have a refined taste then. As an adult, fuck this show.
I will admit that a lot of my love for this show is nostalgia watching as a kid. But I will say that, I mean, you're going to disagree with me on some of this. But,
Yes.
I think it's better than some of the stuff that people have nostalgia of from our childhood.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Like X-Men Evolution. That's a shitty fucking show. I'm sorry.
It's a terrible show.
It's a shitty show. It has pretty goth girls. That's why most of you liked it. But it was a garbage show. Freakazoid is amazing, and I will fight anyone who says otherwise.
So, before we get into this, we'll just announce the next show we're going to watch is Justice League.
Not Unlimited. That comes after.
That comes after.
You start with Justice League.
So, just so everybody knows, that's the two of you know. That's what we're watching next. But without further ado, Joe, how about we watch Season 3, Episode 13, the final episode of Batman Beyond, titled Unmasked. And Joe, just to twist the knife at the end of this, this is written by Hilary J. Bader.
Yep.
And directed by Young Won Lin.
Oh, that's why this fucking episode sucked. That's right. That's why I thought of it at the time. Like, this episode's shit. Because it's fucking Hillary. He's like, what if a little boy saw his face? So here's my big problem with the premise of this episode. Terry's been Batman for like 2 years. Probably really less, but like, let's say 2 years.
Okay.
This whole episode's a flashback to when he first started being Batman. You know, when the show existed. So if this thing had happened, it would have been in the show. That really bothered. I'm like, really? Really? Motherfucker, you still just started being Batman. What are you talking about?
Joe, I'm going to report back to you because I think I told you that next year they're releasing the original Batman Beyond comic series that I never read.
Okay.
And it's all written by Hilary J. Bader.
Oh yeah, it's probably stupid. And not even fun stupid, just stupid. I'm just gonna drop my pen. Fuck it. Fuck life.
Look, Joe, it's a parade.
Embrace anti-life.
Do you think this parade is after the festivities?
No, it's definitely before.
It was a joke for one person, Joe.
It wasn't a very good one, just so you all know. You're not missing out on much. Root Rot Man!
I watched this so long ago, I can't remember what happens. We could see Damon in the last episode, you know? That's nice.
No, they just reference her. We do get to see fucking douchebag McDoucherton.
Seth Green?
Yeah. I said douchebag McDoucherton. It's funny that Terry's a better character in Justice League Unlimited than in his own fucking show.
I'm excited to get to that.
You can't even joke about this.
I'm excited about that because I've never actually seen Justice League Unlimited. So I've never seen Justice League either. So
it's already a better show than this.
We'll agree to disagree on that one.
The net's a big place, McGinnis.
It's
right
true.
after I started being Batman.
Yeah, back in season 1.
Exactly.
It's in between episodes.
Dr. Darkblood, which really feels like kind of racist. He is playing. Nah, kids are shit.
For some reason, it just made me think of Mallrats. Or not Mallrats, Chasing Amy. And then to reveal that the darkest motherfucker in the galaxy was white underneath the whole time.
Just trying to tell us, we all wants to be white! Isn't that true?
What's a newbie?
Shut the fuck up! That might be one of the best things best interactions Kevin Smith's ever written.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's so natural. Just shut the fuck up. I regularly look for the What's a Nubian clip because it applies to so many situations where somebody says something and you just want to scream at them, shut the fuck up. Also, here's another reason why this episode fucking sucks.
Cobra's back.
Goddamn Cobra. And like trying to retcon that Cobra was an important part of the first season when it was not. Nobody gives a shit about Cobra and their weird butterfly fucking TIE fighter.
Pew 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 pew.
I still don't understand why the minions have to be naked.
Sex appeal, Joe. Sex appeal.
It's like a weird... Jesus Christ. What is that fucking design? Safety first. Yeah, season 1. Guess who's not calling the fucking commissioner? Bruce.
Yeah, they're fighting at that point, aren't they?
See, this is why stop making prequels. Stop trying to shove stories in the middle of other stories. You're not good at it. Just ask Star Wars.
God damn it. I hate you.
You know it to be true. Search your feelings. You know it's true. Or no.
Of course, and it gets everywhere.
Shocking! Obi-Wan Season 2. Anakin actually loves sand. I did think about that, where it was... the commercials came up, and I think it came on like a YouTube or Hulu show. And I didn't pay attention, so I didn't realize this. But the fucking Timothée Chalamet Wonka movie is a prequel. And I'm like, no! I don't need a fucking Willy Wonka prequel.
There's also, I was reading a big thing. It's actually a musical.
Okay, now I kind of like it a little more, but...
And... people aren't realizing it, and I was reading a whole thing about the advertising for it, and this has been a thing for all musicals that come to theaters. They don't advertise them as musicals because people don't like musicals.
Yeah, people don't,
and the people that do, like yourself,
it's a very
will
specific.
Look them out. Yeah,
it's a very specific taste.
Yeah, so
and I get it because there are really shitty musicals, but
well, the hope is to trick people into seeing it, and then.
So I will give her credit. This is actually a cute moment. Kid's a little racist because he sees a man all in black. He's like, "You're a bad guy," and then he shows him his white face. He's like, "Oh, you're a good guy." That's bad, but
that's just reality.
Especially when the kid's named Miguel. But that is a fine story beat of Batman tries to save a kid. Kid's scared because what's the whole point of Batman? To instill fear. Mm-hmm. That's fine. And it wasn't a problem. Now let's go tell Dana. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Dana never shows up, which is hilarious.
Thought she did.
She might. I might have just blocked it out because fuck Dana. She's a cunt. Down at Cobra headquarters.
In warehouse number 1.
But they just have the giant fucking snake.
Listen, you can say a lot about Cobra. But they know how to make a super villain.
My point is, that's the snake from fucking G.I. Joe Cobra. That's why it's funny to me.
I know.
I always thought these would be cool as a kid. I really did as a kid. If I could have a thing that would, just broadcast, what I'm thinking. So, I could make a sculpture of what I want it to be and not have to go through fucking fingers. But yeah, there was another one too. Oh, it was what was it? It was another famous movie that was like a single movie, a standalone movie. And Nightmare Before Christmas, that's what it was. Okay. And they were talking about doing a Night Before Christmas prequel. And then Tim Burton, one of the few times I agree with Tim Burton, came out and was like, "No, just don't do it. I don't want prequels. I don't want sequels. Fucking leave it alone." And I'm like, he makes the point. Like, not, and I hate that it's reached a point where I have to be one of the people to say this. Not everything needs to be a franchise.
No.
Not everything it's fuck it, let's bring it back to fucking shitty DC since I had a fight with fucking Aries on this on Inner Circle Jerks. They're bringing back 3 Jokers again. Why?
They did bring back 3 Jokers.
Has it happened now?
Yes.
Okay. Why? It's stupid. And then I looked up because I never read, because 3 Jokers took 5 years to come out because Jeff Johns is a fucking shitty fucking writer.
It's a terrible book too.
But so I looked up like just what happened, like the synopsis. I'm like, okay, let me see. And I'm like, this is dog shit. Like, this doesn't make the character better.
It does nothing.
It's just jerking off.
The story doesn't conclude either.
The first one?
The 3 Jokers.
But I'm saying not now, back then. When the first one.
Yeah, I'm talking about Jeff Johns.
Yeah.
I think it's 5 bucks, 3 Jokers.
Because is Johns doing the new one, or is it just part of a different other thing? Okay.
Chip's doing it.
Yeah, I know.
So this was a conversation we had on Fortress because Mike and I are always of the thing like there's too much Joker, which is true.
Yes.
But when I was looking at it from a business and / creative perspective, as the business people, Batman sells, Joker sells. So at some point in your Batman run, you have to bring back Joker.
Right.
Okay. So it's kind of a chicken and the egg thing.
Yeah.
Does every writer have a Joker story because Joker's that character?
Or
do they know going in, hey, I have a cool Batman run, I have to shoehorn Joker in?
Right. But that's also, and this is where we get a little meta, and it's you're talking about risk assessment. Mm-hmm. Is the reason that Batman and Joker sells because you don't take the chances on something else. Because, like, you know, they have such a fucking
black lipstick and like weird fucking teeth
and the weird goatee.
Yeah,
like his lipstick goes into his fucking Van Dyke. But like that's just it. Where it's like all these things.
Sorry, it makes me think of the old YouTube videos. I'm a snake.
Yeah. Oh, dude, I just saw somebody did that with a dog, and it was adorable. I was like, this is cute. Because it's just a little corgi being like, meh. It's like, I'm a snake. But, like, you're just playing to the gallery. If you're saying, well, you know, as a corporate entity, well, we need to do Joker because Joker sells. If you do what you always done, you're going to get what you always got. Mm-hmm. You're not going to grow the audience by doing the things you've always done. Mm-hmm. And, like, I get it where they're like, well, it's a safe bet. But, like, eventually it's not. Like, movies don't do as well. Why? Because they've gotten safer in their bets. They're not taking big swings.
Yeah.
So, yeah. You know, what was it? That was the report that this is the first year that Disney's not going to have $1 billion movie since, like, 2015 or some bullshit. Okay, they're still making a shit ton of money. They're not failing. But clearly, something's happening because they're doing the same thing over and over again. And yes, they were the ones that were... And it's actually more the point because they were the ones that started doing something different. It pushed their sale. They pushed their profits up, and then they got safe and protective, and then it started bringing back down. Mm-hmm. All cops are bad. This proves it.
They're going to shoot a child.
Well, they see a black man and they pull their guns out. Spoiler for Chris, because I think he forgot this. Those aren't real cops.
That's right. That's right, yeah.
I had a feeling. Yeah. I'm like, no, that's the joke.
It's been so long
the joke is,
this.
that this is actually a clever moment from Cobra, which is why you know they're not... This fucking episode's bullshit.
Here, have your G.I. Joe.
That looks a lot like Mad Stan.
Yes. Because Mad Stan's a hero.
Yeah,
to the
something
people.
about that. No, he's not.
The cops got him, Bruce. You trusted the cops?
I didn't call. Yeah. Told you, Terry. Rule number 1: never trust the police. You're running around looking like a black man. You can't trust the police. No, here's my other thing, because I actually think I brought this up in another episode we listened to. Yeah, with Big Time, with that douchebag. They're in cop cars. Those can be tracked now, so they can definitely be tracked in the future.
They got special future tech to get rid of the tracking. It's fine,
Yeah,
Joe.
sure, I guess, whatever. The show's almost thankfully over, so fuck it. Just so you guys know, this is why the show's never had a resurgence. Because it's not good.
Listen. Batgirl ruined my chances of having a Batman Beyond movie. And that's why I'm glad that movie didn't come out.
Did you see that? There's a part of me that loves this shitty fucking people just shitting on rich people right now. That Zaslav said it took courage to cancel movies like Batgirl.
No, but did you see the director claiming that that Brendan Fraser as Firefly
Okay.
put on a Oscar-worthy performance that the world will never see? And I'm just like, you're wrong.
I like Brendan. I like Brendan Fraser. I don't believe it either.
I love the dude.
Right.
That's not true.
Enhance. Did you see though?
Yes.
It literally comes up on the screen. Enhance. Fuck this show. Fuck this episode.
And to everyone out there that still thinks that the Batgirl movie would have been good, you're wrong. There's a reason they canceled it. It's the Suicide Squad all over again, Joe. It just makes me angry. They should have made it 138. I'm just saying.
Sure.
Why not have a Misfits reference in your Batman TV show?
Because it's the Misfits? Swoosh.
Fuck your toy kid. I do remember this. Like, what a dick.
It is. I love he's still standing there in his cop uniform, too. Like, why wouldn't you change back into your Cobra uniform?
Yeah.
I just
like pretend to be a cop.
I was gonna say, that's like playing dress up. Fire in the flames.
We've never used it on a child before. It's a bit more erratic.
Yeah, you don't say. I think we talked about that I was going to do this, but I don't think we've talked about it since I started.
Okay.
So I've been rewatching Sailor Moon.
Okay.
So, this is fine, because fuck this episode. I'm like 20 episodes in season 1.
Jesus. Okay.
Which that's part of why I'm like, it's really good, because these are like 17-minute episodes, and they get in, they get out, they fucking handle their shit. It's better than this.
I don't believe you.
It is. It's cheaper, because it's definitely, part of the thing that makes me laugh is, remember one of the big criticisms of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers was they just reused all the footage, and Big Bang Beetleborgs was really bad about it, where they just reused footage. So this is Sailor Moon, the original animators, reusing footage because it's cheaper than animating new sequences. So literally every episode when she does her Destructo Disc, because that's what it is, it's a Destructo Disc. When her takes her tiara off and goes Tiara Moon Attack, it's a Destructo Disc. It's the exact same sequence. And I did the first couple times she did it, I'm like, it's a fucking Destructo Disc. And then I'm like, well, wait a minute, what came out first? Dragon Ball Z? Dragon Ball came out. It's a Destructo Disc. But, so, I have not watched it since I watched it as a kid. I'm going to probably shut the door. That's why I keep looking at it. Because it's not properly latched. In the 90s, it was Dick was who did it. DIC. Remember them? They did a bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
They did they did the whole dubbing and everything. They brought it over to America. That's the one I watched. I watched a lot of it, but none of it in sequence. It was weird. But I watched a bit of it, and I liked it. And, like, looking back, I'm like, I know why I liked it. It's fucking Power Rangers. But, like, it literally is. Like, it's just Power Rangers. And then when I looked up the origins of it, the creator of it, worked on the Spider-Man Japanese show.
Okay.
Is the reason why Zords exist in Super Sentai, which means Zords exist in Power Rangers. Because the first, 10 seasons, they didn't have giant robots.
Mm-hmm.
They were just Power Rangers. Because the Spider-Man Japanese show had a giant robot.
Yes.
Which then got brought over to Super Sentai. He loved Super Sentai and made Sailor Moon. It's literally based on Power Rangers. But so I'm watching it, and as I'm watching it, I'm like, there's this cognitive dissonance, because I'm watching it, and I'm like, I've seen these things, but something's off. And it's because it's the Viz dub. So this is when the last few years they redubbed the American version.
Yes.
So I talked to Gil, because then Gil's like, I'm a huge Sailor Moon fan. I'm like, okay, so let's talk about this. So in the Dick version, that's how they would always say it. They aged her up. She's like 17 or 18. The voice actress is clearly 20 years old or so. Sounds like a young woman.
Yes.
Because the cat, Luna, I always imagine she sounded, to me as a young kid, like an Angela Lansbury. She sounded like a very matronly woman.
Mm-hmm.
In the Viz dub, she is clearly 14. The actress sounds 14. Luna sounds like a 20-year-old, which then makes the actress for Sailor Moon sound younger by comparison, because she's younger with a younger woman.
Yep.
In the Dick version, her name was changed to Serena. Do you know what her name is in the original Japanese and then in the Viz dub?
Nope.
Usagi, which means bunny. You know, like the rabbit that fights with the Ninja Turtles. And that fucks with me. I'm like, Usagi Yojimbo? But then when you're watching it, there's all the, and I'm like, okay, that kind of makes sense too. She has a little lunchbox with a bunny on it and stuff. I'm like, so that's the reference because it's a cute name, but you couldn't call her a rabbit, and there was already a Usagi in American animation, so they weren't going to call her Usagi in the 90s. So I looked it up at one point because when I see those, they purposefully aged her up. We ended this episode. I don't care. I'm gonna keep talking about Sailor Moon because it's way more interesting than anything that happened. They purposefully aged her up, and I just go, they were correct, because seeing they're all 14. These 14-year-old girls with 4-foot-long legs with skirts that barely cover anything really feels weird. So I've just decided they're all 18. When I watch the show, I'm like, they're all 18. I don't care. I don't care what it says. And there's one part that really stuck out to me when I made that choice. From if I'm gonna continue watching this, because I am I actually enjoy the Power Rangers of it all, where it's we do something. Oh no, there's a monster. We kill the monster. I'm like, that's Power Rangers. That's all I want. They're in a gym early on, because the whole thing is that there's this Queen Barrel, which I do remember. That's the same name. Oh, that's what I was gonna say too. But in the manga, they're 14. That was a choice. They just chose to draw these characters this way, being they're 14-year-old girls.
That's an ongoing manga thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But these are also I look at them they the features or whatever, because it's manga, right? They don't look 14. 14-year-old girls don't have 4-foot-long legs.
No, but there's a thing in manga. It might be a Japanese thing. I don't know. I'm not Japanese.
Sure.
But where women especially are drawn very young. So I'm reading Kaiju number 8 right now. And even the women in that who are supposed to be in their 30s look like they're fucking 15.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
But anyway. So, the basic premise for Season 1 of Sailor Moon, for those that don't know, I'm sure most of you are huge Sailor Moon fans. There's Queen Beryl. She's an evil queen. She lives on the moon. Why not? And she has this dark... What do they call it? They're part of the Dark Kingdom. There's actually a very funny sequence they have about that. One of them is explaining it to a young girl. It's my evil organization called the Dark Kingdom. And it's that's hilarious. and they're trying to resurrect their great lord, or the master, because the master's a woman, so that's why they don't refer to it in the male. So they're draining humans of their energy to resurrect Satan, basically. So they have all these lieutenants that do these different schemes. So the first one is just trying to like pull as much power from people as he can, and he's what I really think is funny is, like, in retrospect, the first villain is basically a social media influencer. The second villain is an astrologist. But so he has one where he has all the young girls sign up for a gym, and not even young, like their teacher does too. So, and he's draining power from them. And so there's a part where Usagi, Sailor Moon, is in a bath with bubbles. And her tits have huge cleavage. And that's when I'm like, she's not a 14-year-old girl. You're not drawing her as a 14-year-old girl. That's a full-size, that's a grown woman's chest. And this is weird, and I have to make a choice if I'm going to continue to watch this show. But it is. I like it. Like, again, besides the attacks, which then I was looking up because I'm like, what's the differences? Because here's another weird thing I'll get into in a second. In the manga, because it's manga, their transformations are different. They have a lot more attacks because you're just drawing a panel. Mm-hmm. Whereas in the show, they're like, no, we're just going to use the same shit over and over again because we just get to use that same 30 seconds and we don't have to animate it every fucking time. There's also a thing, which makes me laugh because I'm pretty sure they fucked up in this. There's 4 lieutenants or knights. You meet the first one. That's the first one for a bad guy for like the first 11 episodes. Then there's the second one. When they have the second bad guy, there's a third because they're evil, so they're all like backstabbing each other and shit. And when this third lieutenant shows up, they very clearly have a female voice. They are speaking with a female voice. And then a couple episodes go by, and they're not there as much. And they come back, and they have a male voice. And I'm like, it's so jarring to me that I'm like, is that a different character? And then I look it up. So that character is in love with another one of the lieutenants. In the original manga, they're men, so it's a gay. It's yao, you know. They're pretty they're pretty boys that love each other. Dick took the one male character, is like, he looks feminine enough, made him a girl because then it's a heterosexual relationship. Viz apparently reestablished the gay romance, but maybe reuse some of the other dub? Because I'm like, that's definitely the same character that had a female voice before. These voices, it's not even like, oh, somebody changed up. No. These are 2 different voice actors. Mm-hmm. So, did they like start doing the dub and then like, oh, why don't we just change it back to being a dude? Well, should we go re-record that other dialogue? No one will notice. Like, what the fuck? But yeah, and then that's where I'm at, where the second bad guy just got... But it's Monsters of the Week, and the monster designs are really cool. Like, that's why I said, like, that's why I love it. That's the Power Rangers of it. Every monster looks different and looks cool. I'm like, these are cool designs. They show up for like 5 minutes and get murked, but like, okay. I watch Super Sentai, it's fine. So Sailor Moon's really good. You should watch it.
I have nothing to add to this conversation.
I was genuinely surprised. So I'm like, well, let me, because I think I told you it came out of a whole joke conversation about like Evangelion and shit. Mm-hmm. And so I was like, let me just go back. Like, I watched it when I was a kid, and I remember liking it enough. Like, it wasn't like, oh my god, I'm like, oh, that's kind of cool. I'm like, let me watch it. I've watched Dragon Ball. Like, I've watched bad anime. Like, let me see. And then I'm like, this is very entertaining, and it doesn't overstay its welcome. Like, all right. It is weird that all the guys, they all try to fuck her like in their 20s, and they're 14, but you know.
Well, that's Japan.
All right?
Shit's legal there, apparently.
I guess. There's like 300 episodes. The first season, so on Hulu, it has the dub and the sub. So, you know, it's one of those where it's...
Yeah, where you
it says
the
90.
And
it says
be a fucking weeb.
It says 92 episodes, but that really means there's 46.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm on episode like 27. Like, I'm halfway through the first season. And I'm like, this is cool. I'll fucking watch. And by the way, Tuxedo Mask is a fuckboy. All right? I want that to be clear. If we get email about my Sailor Moon takes, I will be so fucking happy. Sincerely, and this is apparently different in the manga too. For the, like, I'm at episode 27. Tuxedo Mask has probably been in less than 10 minutes of the show. His entire purpose is he shows up when Sailor Moon's about to get killed. He throws a rose, which sticks into the ground. The monster stops attacking Sailor Moon, and she kills him with a Destructo Disc. That's his purpose in the show. And after the first 5 times, I just went, Tuxedo Mask is a fuckboy. That's all he is.
Joe, if people want more Sailor Moon, where can they find you on the internet?
Right here! Next episode! Every week, we're going to do Joe's Sailor Moon... That's what we should do on Fortress. I should just come on and talk about Sailor Moon that I watched that week.
Okay, no. No. I won't subjugate myself to that pain.
But what if it tripled your listenership?
I might subjugate.
Yeah.
Triple? Yeah.
Triple. Triple's a good amount. Double's like, it could be. Triple, it don't matter if you got 5 people. Triple under 15's good.
Just add a 5 to 10 minute segment of you just explaining a Sailor Moon episode.
I'm telling you.
Just out of nowhere,
just be like, fun, too.
And now we're moving on to the TV news. But before that, Joe's here with the Sailor Moon Minute.
It would be so much fun.
Or just splice it between...
Have me take over your broadcast. Like I'm cutting in. Like, listen. So this is what happens.
Just picture. We're sitting down with Derek Robertson. So like when you're doing this and blah blah. Like how did that come about with you and Garth? Oh well, we did this. All right, let's talk about Sailor Moon now.
So Queen Barrel's on her bullshit again. But no, I'm serious. Go watch it. It's fine. It's enjoyable. Like, you have to understand, it's like anything. It's like watching Dragon Ball, right? It was a different time in animation, so like you have to like give it some you can't expect it to be looking like Dragon Ball Super. But it's pretty solid.
Does it have a brilliant episode like when Gohan finds the kids on the island and saves them?
I don't know. I haven't gotten there yet. Probably. Sailor Jupiter's just about to show up, so we're gonna.
I don't.
You didn't know that, dude? I knew that. That's basic shit. There are 5 Sailor Scouts initially in the Deke dub. There were Sailor Scouts. In this, they're the Sailor Guardians. Apparently, in the manga, they're the Sailor Senshi. I don't know. They're Sailor Scouts to me because I'm old. But yeah, no, it's Sailor Moon. This is the funny part too. She's a moon. Everybody else is a planet. I don't know why, but so it's Sailor Mercury, Sailor Mars, Sailor Jupiter, Sailor Venus. There is a Sailor Uranus apparently. I don't think I ever got to that part. So I think this was me reading. So I've never watched those episodes. In the manga, Sailor Venus and Uranus are lesbians. They're gay lovers.
Makes sense.
In the Dick dub, they're cousins. Like, it is very funny the things that they try to like scrub out where it's like, okay, so we can't have any gay characters, but you can totally show 14-year-old girls where you're just trying to look up their skirts. I've always liked the Sailor Moon transformation too. Like, you've seen it because it's been parodied and shit. Like, I've always found that to be just a cool visual. Yeah, you didn't know there's fucking 5 scales? And then they added more. I don't know about all the others, but like apparently, because then they started getting really into like the cosmology of it, where they call like the other scouts the outer scouts because they're not part of our solar system or some shit, like they're not named after, because everyone, So like that's a whole, I haven't gotten there yet. I haven't got the Sailor Chibi either. That may break me. I may be like, nope, I'm good, but...
This is literally the most Sailor Moon I've ever had a conversation about.
You are missing out. Sailor Moon is quality.
I just don't believe you.
It's good. It is very funny too, though, for me to see like the Viz Media, because again, I have the vague memories. Just like Rock the Dragon, like it doesn't matter how many Japanese entrants I hear to fucking Dragon Ball Z. In my heart, it's always Rock the Dragon. They literally Like, the Viz Media takes it back to the original, so they make it much more quote-unquote girly. Because, like, on fucking the American one before, it was always, like, Sailor Moon Power or whatever. Again, they're Power Rangers. In this, it's literally, like, Moon Crystal Makeup! Like, they're having a makeover when they become superheroes.
Oh, Jesus.
It's tremendous, though!
My only thing to add to this is, have you noticed that recently they're trying to retcon Dragon Ball Z to be Dragon Ball Z?
Who? Who is doing this?
I've heard multiple ads for like Dragon Ball like games and mobile apps and stuff. Where they say Dragon Ball Super, and Dragon Ball Z.
Are they UK based?
I don't think so. I don't know. I don't look that far. I've just heard ads.
Because hold on, do you understand that there is no letter Z in British English?
That's why we defeated the British in the Revolutionary War.
That's why I'm asking.
I don't know.
Because if they're UK based, there's no retcon app. That's how it's always been.
Well, they're wrong, Joe.
That's fine. You haven't watched Sailor Moon. Like, people are allowed to be wrong, but
no. Can you pimp your shit already so I can stop talking about Sailor fucking Moon?
At this point, it's become fun for me to just be like, how can I get it back to Sailor Moon?
He's Cthulhu Holmes on Twitter. I'm Fortress Chris on Twitter.
I didn't say anything about
everybody.
Twitter. Fuck Twitter. Fuck Twitter.